Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at why one pickup guitars, why you should have one and why you should need one. I know this topic has been covered a lot, particularly because I've watched lots of those videos myself, because I'm quite infatuated by single pickup guitars. I think they're quite cool, more than cool, in fact. And today I just wanted to give my 2 cents on them and why I would recommend them. Personally, I know like people like Rob Scallon, Rob and like Rhett Shaw. But actually, no, maybe not Rob. Actually, I know like Rhett Shaw and like other people like that have done videos on this. But I just thought I wanted to talk about it a little bit myself, since I do now have a single pickup guitar. So you've probably seen this guitar before. I did some mods on it beforehand a year ago. Now I've redone it. I've put a new pickguard on it. I've put a single pickup in here, and this is it doesn't have strings on it because I still have to set it up and everything. But that's in the process and that's in the works. So obviously pickups is a complete, in terms of sound and playability, it's completely subjective, really. However, there are some objective things which you can't be disputed about having a single pickup guitar, which I'm just going to start off with. I think three main factors that come to my mind is price. They're always going to be slightly cheaper, especially if you're buying a high end. Well, okay, no, I would say if you're buying a middle guitar and you have the option between a two pickup and like for example the Les Paul Juniors. If you get one with one pickup, get one with two pickup, and they're using nice guitars, nice pickups. I mean, that can be another $100, £100 onto the price, as well as as well as, for example, if they use pots and tones, and also just the extra. I mean, it wouldn't take very long, but the extra couple minutes of having to solder them and stuff like that, having to route out a cavity, having to drill a hole if you have the wires, if you have the neck pickup going through the thing, going through the bridge cavity. Manufacturing costs, of course, they all take a play, and so they are most of the time cheaper. My point about the higher end guitars was, if you have enough money to spend on a higher end guitar, that's most likely not going to be a massive factor you're really dealing with. But particularly, and if you're getting a lower end guitar, the price difference between one pickup and two pickup may not be so large, because majority of that money is coming from the pickup itself. Because, like I said, there are manufacturing adjustments and manufacturing. You would have to have a different, if it's on a mass scale, mass production, that you're going to have a whole different product assembly line going for one pickup and two pickup guitars. So there is there is still manufacturing things, but if it's being CNC routed, which they will be, it doesn't take long. Um, but there still will be a price difference. But that was my point. It's mainly in the middle range. If the guitar's too cheap, the price difference is going to be massive, and if it's too expensive, the price difference doesn't even matter. Second objective point is it's going to be lighter. It's not going to be massively lighter. A pickup isn't. It has weight to it, but it's not um, massively weighty. But especially if you're having something like a massive EMG pickups, and I know that's not so common. I know BC Rich did some single pickup stuff, and I haven't really looked in that recently, so I'm not entirely sure. But if you have like a big, or perhaps if you have like a 7 string or 8 string and you have a big pickup, that can make a difference. And as well, it can make the guitar slightly more balanced, depending on if it's neck dive or what. There's so it can have an effect there, basically. Thirdly, and that's reliability, really. Now, if you have a high end guitar, this really shouldn't be an issue. but there still is always the possibility, especially if you're traveling and stuff like that and going on tour, there's always more room for a pickup to fail, for it's being chucked around from aeroplane to aeroplane. You're jumping around on stage. Wires can get loose. They can get faulty. Moisture, corrosion, perhaps. They can all build up, and it could cause a short. And as well, saying that, a single a pickup guitar, they don't need is a pickup selector. That can short easily, and that's another thing actually I didn't mention in the manufacturing side of it. You don't need that. That's it's. I mean, obviously these don't cost much. The same with the pots as well. I mean, obviously there are higher end ones, but it's not a massive deal. But the manufacturing times as well. It all makes it a little bit simpler. So I guess that's they are the undeniable facts if you're trying to be persuaded. Other facts, which I guess is getting more subjective, and it really does depend on your style and what you're looking for in a guitar, and what your sound is and stuff like that, and what your this is a bit of an odd one, but what your I suppose beliefs are, and I'll elaborate on that slightly because it sounds a bit odd when I say it like that. But starting off, playability and stuff like that. People do like switching. I know this has a thing, because I thought you would look kind of weird if I didn't have it on there, but it's basically a kill switch. I have 2 kill switches. I mentioned this before, because that works as a kill switch now that I don't have any pickups. Yeah, obviously people do like switching pickups and stuff like that, but you will be surprised how much you can get out of single pickup guitar, and you learn to use it. You learn to really feel out a pickup for what it is. You learn to use the volume a lot more. You learn to use the tone a lot more. You learn to use different techniques when you're playing. Light. You learn the importance of picking light, picking hard. Different way, like tapping and stuff like that. You can get a whole different variety of sounds, which perhaps you wouldn't have been able to replicate with having another pickup. However, it's a different sound to spice up your music in a different way, which you would have previously just switched the pickup. Now you can do it in a whole different way, and in my opinion, it's a bit more of a I like a more cooler way. It's cooler to really feel out a pickup and really know all the ins and outs of it, instead of just flicking from pickup to pickup. Oh yeah, that's a new sound. Oh, that's a new sound. But then doing the same things, you're becoming a far more diverse and well-rounded player, as you know all these different techniques. All these, all these different sounds that one pickup can get out of. Obviously, I never messed around with pickups. I was always bridge pickup. I always, and just played. I was never really worried about it. And I guess I'll move on to the belief side of it. I am always for simplicity. Not I'm not. I don't mean like minimalism and living like a living on the bare minimum. Obviously, you're allowed some happiness in life and stuff like that. But I always think. I guess it sounds weird in terms of saying it for guitars and stuff like that. But don't take anything for granted. Really just make the most of what you can before you move on to other stuff. I guess that's the thing. And I kind of make this point similarly when I say guitar pedals are overrated. If you haven't watched that video, guitar pedals aren't overrated. It's just use your guitar work out your guitar far more before you start buying unnecessary pedals. That was basically the point of the video. And today I'm basically saying use one pickup before you move on to unnecessary other pickups. And I think living in simplicity, it's in my opinion, it's far more respectable. Which is what I was trying to say before. It's you know what you're doing. You know how to enjoy things easier, and and just be content. I guess, like, don't overwhelm yourself with all these things. Don't be a consumerist, I guess, and don't it ties into like all these other different factors of like politics and morals and ethics and stuff like that. And I know this is just guitar pickups, and it's not like it's not deep or anything like that. And I'm deep in it a little bit, but that's for me personally. That's where that's where this ideology comes from, of having things as simple as possible, and making the most out of it. And maybe more important than the simply bit. The simple bit is just for me personally. Obviously, if you have the ideology, you take that for what you will. But my emphasis on for everyone else is just make the most out of what you can, really. And in this case, it's guitar pickups. Like I said, you learn to experiment with different sounds and stuff like that, and also with having just one pickup. This is slightly against, I guess, the guitar pedals overrated video, but you can start using guitar pedals in a different way, because you're not going to be flicking a switch. You're going to be turning on a pedal, using an expression pedal, using turning the knobs and stuff like that. Or you can have inbuilt effects on your guitar. You can have like a preamp and stuff like that. You can have, I know, like the BC Rich, they could go quite overboard, and all these controls like going in and out of phase. Obviously, this is a single chord, so you can't go in and out of phase. But stuff like that, and I think that's really what it comes down to. There is like other slight factors. I know when I play, I like strum like right here, and I do sometimes hit my neck pickup. It was actually quite comfortable to take it out. It was even worse when I had 3 pickups, and I had this one here. This one was really annoying me. I would catch that with my pick a lot by accident, because I do hit quite hard just naturally, and it would get to the point where I would have the strings would get caught underneath the pickup because it didn't have a proper guard on it. So excuse the noise just 1 second. I just want to demonstrate what I mean when I say this. So I have the old this was here, but like the strings would get caught underneath here. It get really annoying. And stuff like that, but that's a personal issue. I don't think many people are going to experience that. I don't think that's a strong enough reason why you should only have one pickup either. But it is just living in having a more simple rig. I don't like to worry myself personally with sounds that much, and that's another point as well. I don't like to, as well as getting the most out of something which you can. I don't like to. If you have the option to worry, you're going to worry. Taking the pickup out is just going to make you not worry. It's the same thing with amps. Sorry. It's the same thing with amps. If you have an amp with all these settings, all these channels and stuff like that, you're gonna worry. It's like, is this the right sound? It's like, is this one better? Is that one better? Same with all these pedals. People with massive pedal boards and stuff like that. What sound is right for this? If you have something simple, you don't have to worry, and it's just so much easier to play, and it's just so much easier to sit down and just enjoy the roots of it. This is the core roots of it. This is what a guitar is. And I'm going to enjoy it, and I think that's really sort of sums up the simplicity thing that I was mentioning myself. Obviously, take that what you will. It's different for everyone, but I think that's how I think, and I'm happy that I think that way. I'm completely comfortable with it, because, well, like I said, it comes from many different backgrounds and stuff like that, and how that ideology has come up to what it is. But I think that wraps up the video quite nicely. I think I've explained my points quite well. Please let me know in the comments what you think yourself. Sorry. This is an open discussion, really. And also, sorry, another point as well, when it comes to cost, especially if you're modding, it's a lot cheaper. obviously, you know, as anything. I mean, this pickup was like £15 or something. It wasn't expensive. It was the cheapest one I could find. But I digress. Anyway, that was just another like point about that I forgot to mention previously. That's been today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it. I've wanted to talk about this for a while, and I'm happy I finally can. So if you did enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. Please comment, everything like that. I read all comments and stuff like that, and check the links in the description. I will be posting more regularly. I will be doing a setup video on this guitar. Like I said, still has strings to be, like I said in the beginning of the video, that's why it doesn't have strings in it. I'll be doing a cover as well pretty soon. And apart from that, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.